Hey guys, we're going to go over some new geometry vocab. Um, some you should already have, like the first, 4. The first 6 you should be familiar with. Like the first 4 are ways of classifying an angle based on its degrees. So like an angle are 2 rays that meet at a vertex. So here's a picture, 2 rays that meet at a vertex. So here's your ray, here's another ray, and they met at a point. And you can't tell that there's an arrow that actually is extending. There we go. And the vertex is a point that they have in common. And angles are labeled 3 ways. So as long as it can only name one angle, it can be named with a single letter. So this could be angle B. If it doesn't describe just one, you're going to have to give it 3 letters. So this would be called angle ABC. And it usually has a picture that looks like this, angle ABC. It could be called angle B. Sometimes it will be given the number 1 inside or a number of any sort like 4 or 5, depending on how many angles you have in that picture. You could have also, just like with lines, you could call it backwards. You could say CBA. The only thing different is it takes 3 points to name it, and the vertex has to be in the middle. So B would have to be sandwiched in between A and C. And like I said, there were 3 ways of classifying an angle based on its degree. So you could have an acute angle, you could have an obtuse angle, you could have a right angle, and you could have a straight angle. An acute angle is an angle that is less than 90 degrees. An obtuse angle is greater than 90, but less than 180. A right angle is 90 degrees, and a straight angle is 180 degrees. It's a straight line. An acute angle looks like this. It's little, it's acute. Obtuse is a larger angle. It's obtuse. A right angle forms a 90-degree angle. And a straight angle is a straight line. Alright, then there's other angle pairs, and these include, so you could have what's called adjacent angles. And these are just angles that are right beside each other. They share a vertex and a side. So for instance, here's an angle, and then here would here would be two angles that are right next to each other. An angle here and an angle here. And if I were to fill out a worksheet about this and I said name two adjacent angles, I could say D's in the middle, and so I have ADB and I have BDC. So those would be my two angles that are adjacent. Vertical angles are the angles that are formed when two lines cross. They're the lines straight across from each other. So that would be this one. 1 and 2 are vertical from each other, and those are always congruent. Congruent means they are equal. Another vocab word involving angles is supplementary. It is two or more angles that add up to 180 degrees. So 20 angle an angle that has a degrees of 20 is supplementary with an angle that has 160, because you have 120 plus 160 would equal 180. Those two would be, this one and this one would be supplementary. Complementary means they two or more angles that add up to 90 degrees. So 30 and 60 are complementary angles. If I were given this, it's a straight line, and I were told that this right here is 3x degrees, and this right here is 2x plus 15. And I were asked to find the value of x. I know since they form a straight line, they would have to add up to 180 degrees. So I would take 3x plus 2x plus 15 and set it equal to 180 degrees. And then I would solve for x. So I would have 5x plus 15 equals 180 degrees. And then I would have 5x equals 165. So x equals 35. And this is an example of a supplementary relationship. if I gave you a picture that looks like this, and I said find the relationship to solve for x. 3x plus 4, and then over here I have 2x minus 3. These are vertical angles, and I know that vertical angles are equal to each other. So I would just take 3x plus 4, and I would set it equal to 2x minus 3, and I would solve for x. Subtract 2x from both sides, and I'd get x plus 4 equals negative 3. I find x equals negative 7.